Make it look like the island side gets so close at that point from that overhead shot, but they're not that close. They have come together though. There's not much between them. Now they're moving apart. I wonder if they had to be warned by the umpire.
Because it looks from this overhead shot that there really isn't much room at all, but actually when you're out there, there is quite a considerable amount of room if you're clever about it. There's no need to move on to someone else's station. As they come down, I think it is the crew from Royal Kensington who have no more than a third of a length.
We've got both shots showing this race at the moment. Yeah, I think so. I don't know what's happened in the previous heat. So still close. Club Coxed 4s. Intermediate Club Coxed 4s for the lesser trophy. Another really popular event. All race out for all these girls. Time trial, heat, semi-final, quarter-final, semi-final.
Just as a brief update, the Isle of Ely were winners.
Ah, that's what I was waiting to hear.
Junior girls heat.
They did hold on to it. Wow, what do you reckon?
So here we go, neck and neck. I couldn't
Going
tell.
through, I think that.
So the momentum is with Vesta.
I think Vesta Rowing Club. I know we see the difference in the rowing and the sculling style. We've got some laybacks there in the particular Vesta Rowing Club boat.
That's lying down at the finish.
There. Yeah. Side by side. This is the classic side by side, stroke for stroke.
Bow ball to bow ball.
Bow ball to bow ball.
All the cliches. Use them now while you still can.
You don't get to use it that often, do you?
Nope. No, you don't.
But not for long. Vesta going through
It's
there.
a massive push from Vesta. That's half a length. They've taken a length in about, I don't know, 30 to 40 strokes. Very impressive. And actually, that seemed to me to be premeditated. That seemed to me to be a plan, because they always looked calm when they were down, and they were never down by very much, and they seem to have been a response from the coach, and they've just moved through and taken control of this race. And if they can continue to move away and keep the momentum with them, they'll break contact, and they'll exert full control over this semi-final.
Yeah.
So it's been an absolute pleasure covering the Henley Women's Regatta this morning and early on this afternoon. I'm off to catch my train to London.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Hope the racing is as good as it's been so far, and I think Carol is going to... Was it Lizzie? Lizzie Chapman, I apologise.
Sydney.
Is going to take on the commentary.
Well, we could have done with Lizzie for the updates on the Sydney crew.
Ah, yes. The juniors, you mean?
Yeah, you were kind of sitting here free to chat to us a little bit in the background, but
yeah. So all of them trialists for the juniors this year, but didn't pretty high bar this year, so they didn't get in. But the girl in the bow seat is from a Sydney club. The other girls are from, I believe, all from. Queensland. However, even though they're at school there, they were never mind. A great first time for them at Henley Women's.
So the first semi-final, Vesta Rowing Club have stretched out now. In the second semi-final on the course, on this bottom picture, we've got Lee Rowing Club, got the initial advantage in the orange kit, the top of your picture, against City of Oxford in the red and white, in the red, blue and white striped boat.
Yeah, and Lee looking strong, looking composed, aren't they? They've got a length's lead, so they can see them out of the corner of their eye, and they're managing to keep it fairly relaxed. Just watching in case there is a move from Oxford. Looks like Oxford are making a bit of a push now. Yes, they are, and as they come past us now in the commentary tower just at the end of Temple Meadows, it's about half a length between the Lee in the lead, City of Oxford over on the Buckinghamshire station. So we're in the centre of the course. Lee, responding to that push, brought it back to a 1-length lead again.
Yeah, so Lee up at 35 there. City of Oxford also 35. Lee got the initial advantage off the island, just increased their lead, and then barely halfway, and they've got clear water, looking pretty dominant in this race. Vesta didn't have it quite their own way, didn't have it so easy. They won by a good margin in the end. We'll see now who will go through to meet Vesta Rowing Club, very good looking Vesta Rowing Club in the final. Looks like it could be.
You just don't know, do you? I mean, they're looking very.
London clubs in the final.
That's right.
Well, it's got quite a rivalry, isn't it? Because of course the Lee, London club, but not Tideway club.
Yeah.
So you've got
that's right.
Vesta Rowing Club on that Tideway stretch.
And it must
next
be.
To, next to
it
Thames
would be
Rowing Club.
less than 30 years that they've had women at Vesta Rowing Club as well, isn't it? Whereas the Lee has always had women. So. The battle of the girls, and it's really hard to tell. The Lee Rowing Club looking, as I say, fairly relaxed, but they don't have that much of a lead, and really anything can happen as you come into that final stretch. So passing the boating area now, they'll be getting a really big cheer from the crowd, both clubs. Some good steering going on, I must. So in the earlier part of the regatta, I was at the other end of the course, and there were some classic clashes. The re-row of the pair earlier on, and I think the crews racing later have taken note of that and being very careful with their steering indeed. But it is tricky. You're following the booms down the side of your boat, and you don't want to hit them because that really does. Hitting one of those booms really does give you a terrible jolt and stops your race. So the steering, really important. Staying calm, staying in control. So looking at it now, Oxford trying to push back against the Lee, but the Lee continue to lead in this semi-final of the Coxless Fours.
So Lee looking fairly comfortable there, back up to the start. We've got some elite singles now, semi-finals of the elite singles. Between on the left-hand side of your picture, the Berkshire Station, Wallingford Rowing Club, and Warrington Rowing Club on the right-hand side of your picture. So it looks like Wallingford taking the early lead. Wilson of Wallingford Rowing Club. Again, pulling it, it's really
steering. Yeah.
All of them coming across. I mean, not all of them, but it's very, very tempting, and they're coming across the middle. They're rarely being warned.
Well, it's very tricky, isn't it? You come off the start, and if you have that Berkshire Station, you've just the river has a little bay there, and it's so easy to follow it across. Just remembering,
You've been caught out there as well, I definitely have.
vaguely remembering from 150 years ago when I was in a single racing here. Yeah, and then, and of course, if you're beside the island, you just get that little swirl of wind as the trees have a bit of a break, and it's very easy to get caught. But yes, the Wallingford sculler, she's really not quite in the right position. She's a little bit too far to the centre.
So Lucy Glover of Warrington, establishing an early lead. Just broken clear there, just got a couple of feet of clear water already over Melanie Wilson of Wallingford Rowing Club. It's the elite single event. Only 5 entries.
Lucy Glover looking very strong as she comes past us now. So they've done the first part of the course. They're through Temple Meadows. They're now making their way down towards the regatta enclosure. You can hear all the cheering. It's really, length is really not too much to worry about at this stage of the race. You can so much can happen in a single scull. It certainly doesn't mean that Wallingford is out of contention at all.
So Mary Wilson from Wallingford Rowing Club there, Melanie. So I'm trying to remember. This is my great event. So there was only one sculling event.
Of course, yes.
When I won it at Henley, and it was just such a fantastic experience. And I was always down. Anyone will tell you ever raced me, I was always down. Not quite sure how much I got down more by before I managed to come through. But you can, you can shift it along a lot in the second half. But once she's now getting more than a length clear water. Once you get that more than a length clear water, maybe half a length clear water.
Yeah,
it's quite hard to shift it from there.
Going through a bit of bouncy water there in the middle of the course. Of course, it's Sunday. For those of you who are watching from overseas, it's a glorious, sunny Sunday afternoon here in Henley upon Thames, and people are out on pleasure craft going up and down the river. So although the racing course is buoyed in with the wooden booms that you can see there in our picture, there are pleasure craft going up and down on the outside. You can see that from the pictures that are beaming to you now. And occasionally, although the booms protect the crews from the wash somewhat, every now and then there's a break so that crews can cross over. And a little bit of wash coming through there can always knock you off your stride a bit in the single.
Are they coming back closer? It's hard to tell. Lucy Glover there, look, I mean, she was dominant. She's a women's Henley winner in the single as a J16, and she's got World Junior Silver in the quad. She's competitor. We'll see. We're cutting. We've got that in the top of the pitch, and we'll keep an eye. She looks comfortable now, but we've got the start of the second semi-final.
Right, we've got Pippa Whitaker of Imperial College London on the Berkshire station, and the person that had the bye yesterday, Sam Corty from Bath University, on the Buckinghamshire station, which is the one in the centre of the river.
So I think you can see that as well as we can, just a small lead now. That Imperial College sculler getting out there. She was a quarter length, half a length.
Oh, it looks a tight race though, and a great race. So Pippa
race
Whitaker here, Imperial College, Sam Corty, Bath University. The Imperial College sculler in the favoured M Packer, the distinctive yellow hull, and Sam Corty in the Philippi craft that is so popular these days with lightweights in particular. Both of them really lovely boats. So both girls with top class equipment, both girls sculling really long and having an absolute battle as they go down the course.
Right about the bumpy water. I mean, it shouldn't. You think it should be on conditions like today, but it's just got that bit of a bobble on.
Yeah, it's just very tricky in a single, isn't it? Yeah.
It's just a little bit,
pitching.
They're staying above it, and experienced elite scullers. What have we got here? We've got Imperial College Tideway sculler. This will be nothing to her, surely.
Good point. Good point.
Bath University. I don't know their stretch of water at all.
And from what I've seen of it, it's quite short. But maybe I'm wrong.
And maybe they've got somewhere else to train as well. Probably nowhere as choppy as the Tideway. So maybe that's you can see the bounce on the water. So yeah, Tideway sculler from Imperial College would
battle on through
this. It's almost worse, I think, when you get this water than if you've got chop due to a wind. It's kind of got a bit more predictability about it. This can really catch you. I used to just think in bobbly water like this of metronome legs. So you just
try and
have
keep
to,
the rhythm.
yeah, because you can see how you catch your blades occasionally. They might come out a bit early, they might go in a bit early, but regardless, you just have to keep your legs pushing down, and she's doing a really good job of that. You can just see that no matter what happens to her blades, they are getting, maybe do with getting her blades down. I would, getting her blades down a little bit more. They're catching the water quite a lot, and she's not got a huge push down on her hands. Push her hands down a little bit more, she'd get a little bit clearer, but who am I to say? She's leaving us quite comfortably at the moment.
Well, we're getting a big cheer as they go through the boating area now, the regatta enclosure. Just coming out of that now, you then hit a little bit of a patch where it's quite quiet, having walked up the towpath today. And then you come down towards through Upper Thames and into Remenham Club, where we have the chairman's enclosure, and the crowds build up again there. A beautiful day, lots of people on the towpath, and we're really delighted that so many of you are joining us, beaming in from around the world to watch our live stream of Henley Women's Regatta 2007. I'll make that 17 actually, I'm 10 years out there. 2017.
You're just making yourself 10 years younger there, Lizzie.
Pippa Whittaker of Imperial College doing a great job there. She's, despite that bouncy water, she has shown real grit. Paddling now through to, able to take the pressure off somewhat as she paddles through to the finish now. Sam Corty put up a really good fight in the first half of the race. Certainly not backing off.
The last race before our lunch break, isn't it?
It looks as though it is. Brief though it is, yeah.
Yes, last, which is good because they've just delivered us some packed lunches, Lizzie. I wonder what I was going to do.
All the perks.
I know. Are you back on here after lunch?
Oh yes, I am. But you've been in here and out for hours.
I've been here quite a while, and I'm going up to the boats to juggle. I am one of the luckiest people alive. I'm getting on the boat to commentate on the finals live from the boat, which is just
very exciting.
My favourite couple of hours of my life every year. There we will see. I'm not sure whether I will get to see Pippa Whittaker of Imperial College in her final. I think I only get to see about one in every 6, depending upon which boat you're on the launch.
Yes, yes.
So I shall now go and work out which races I get to commentate and follow live on the, because you have 2 commentaries. So you've got us on the web commentary. Lizzie continuing. Don't know who
yes,
you're with.
Indeed, Camilla, I believe. And then, and yesterday I had the good fortune to go out on the launches, as did you, to do the commentary that streams back live to the regatta and chairman's enclosures.
So we'll leave you now. I think we'll leave you with these pictures over the lunch break.
And we'll be resuming again at 5 to 2 British time to continue our race coverage with the elite Coxless fours, which is Leander Club against Durham University. Looking forward to a humdinger there. Some great racing to come. 5 minutes after that, Banks Rowing Club, that's the crew of Rosie Popper and Alexandra Hagan of Australia, racing against Imperial College, who had that gangbuster against